PV Bicycle Center. I'm the store manager here and previously the service manager. I'm here to talk to you about suspensions, full suspension bikes in particular. One of the most frequently overlooked items on a full suspension mountain bike is the actual suspension itself. The biggest issues you have are the fork and the rear shock being overlooked. A lot of people will bring in a bike and they'll say, I need a service, it's not shifting right, wheels aren't that true. But as far as the most important thing about the suspension bike being the suspension is that's what keeps you on the ground and keeps your bike in contact with the ground. That's the reason why you buy a bike with suspension. So most important thing is to keep your suspension clean. Wipe behind the wipers, keep all the dirt and grime away from the seals, and around the bottom of the shock, dirt like this, buildup of this kind can produce wear on the bottom of the stanchions and on the top of the stanchions of your fork. That wear will eventually break through the seal of this, contaminating the fluid. Once your fluids are contaminated in your shock or your fork, you have internal breakdown of all the rebound dampening systems and the valving systems for the fluid. That makes your suspension stack up quicker, which means you go into a turn and it pushes down, but it doesn't actually suspend you like it should. It'll also cause more pressure to be needed in the rear shock to keep the rear travel appropriate and to keep the rear wheel filling holes as you go over them. All these things will lead to less control on the bicycle, more stack of the suspension, and less travel overall. Plus it'll feel a lot less fluid and you'll get more stiction, which where the shock actually sticks to the tubes as it goes up and down, producing a rough ride and a rough feel. Servicing these things regularly can increase control, increase efficiency, and makes them last much longer. On your rear shock, some manufacturers suggest between 40 to 60 hours. You replace the seals, wipe the dust wipers, and put a new seal kit in there. It's roughly $35 for the labor and about $25 for the seal kit. It's something that can save you a few $100s. As well as the front, about $20 for a seal kit, $55 to change the oil. If you do this every 100 to 150 hours, it stops a lot of lengthy and expensive repairs. Plus you can get back on your bike and you can ride pretty quickly. You also want to be very, very careful while filling your shocks that these caps are always replaced once they are taken off and that the actual internals are clean. If you miss this cap and this fills with dirt, once you put the shock pump on, you're pumping dirt into the valving system, which will completely destroy the inside of the shock, costing you $400 to $500 to replace the shock. As well as the front. If you have an air fork, same thing. If you miss this dust cap, make sure you properly clean, lube, and then replace it with another style cap over top of the Schrader valve so you don't pump dirt into your fork. And that's it. Take care of these steps, your bike and suspension will last you a long time. You'll be riding a lot quicker and a lot happier as well.